Espresso is the foundation of modern coffee culture. It emerged in Italy in the early 20th century as a way to serve coffee quickly without sacrificing flavor. By forcing hot water through finely ground coffee under high pressure, espresso extracts intense flavor in a short amount of time. The result is a small, concentrated shot topped with crema, a thin layer of foam formed by emulsified oils and carbon dioxide. Despite its intensity, espresso is not about caffeine strength, but concentration. Nearly every cafe coffee that followed is built by altering this single method. Doppio. A doppio is simply a double espresso. It uses twice the amount of coffee and water, producing a fuller-bodied drink with greater intensity. In many cafes today, the doppio has replaced the single shot as the standard espresso serving. Ristretto. Ristretto is a shorter version of espresso made using less water. Because extraction stops earlier, fewer bitter compounds are pulled from the coffee. This gives ristretto a sweeter, denser flavor, despite its smaller volume. Lungo takes the opposite approach. More water is pushed through the same amount of coffee, extending the extraction. While larger in size, it tends to taste more bitter and drier because additional compounds are drawn out during the longer brew. Americano. The Americano was popularized during World War II, when American soldiers in Italy diluted espresso with hot water to resemble the coffee they were used to back home. It preserves espresso's aroma while reducing its intensity, resulting in a smoother, lighter-bodied drink. Drip coffee. Drip coffee became dominant in the 20th century as home brewing technology spread. Hot water passes through ground coffee using gravity rather than pressure, producing a clean, familiar cup. For many people, this is the baseline reference for what coffee tastes like. Pour-over coffee refines the drip method by giving the brewer direct control over water flow, temperature, and timing. This manual process emphasizes clarity and balance, allowing subtle flavor differences to stand out, especially in single-origin coffees. Macchiato. Macchiato means marked in Italian. Traditionally, it refers to an espresso that is marked with a small amount of milk or foam. The purpose is not to dilute the drink, but to slightly soften its sharpness while keeping espresso dominant. The cortado originated in Spain, and it balances espresso with an equal amount of warm milk. The milk is steamed, but not foamed, which reduces acidity without adding texture. The result is smooth, bold, and evenly proportioned. Cappuccino. Cappuccino is defined by structure. It traditionally consists of equal parts espresso, steamed milk, and milk foam. The thick foam layer insulates the drink and creates a clear separation of textures. In Italy, cappuccinos are typically consumed in the morning. Flat white. The flat white was developed in Australia and New Zealand as a response to coffee drinks that were heavy on milk. It uses finely textured micro foam rather than thick foam, and less milk overall, allowing the espresso flavor to remain more prominent. Latte. A latte contains more steamed milk and less foam than a cappuccino. This creates a creamier, milder drink where espresso becomes part of a larger, smoother whole. As cafe culture expanded globally, the latte became one of the most recognizable coffee styles. Latte macchiato. Latte macchiato reverses the structure of a traditional latte. Instead of espresso with added milk, steamed milk is poured first, and then marked with a shot of espresso. This construction creates visible layers and a softer coffee profile as the milk dominates the drink's body. The name reflects this order and means stained milk in Italian. Breve. A breve is an espresso drink made with half and half instead of milk. The higher fat content creates a thicker, richer texture and softens espresso's acidity. It is most commonly found on American cafe menus, where creamier coffee styles are more popular. Mocha. The mocha blends coffee and chocolate into a single drink. While its name traces back to a historic coffee trading port, the modern mocha is a milk-based espresso drink sweetened with chocolate. It bridges bitterness and sweetness, placing coffee firmly in dessert territory. Affogato is less a drink than a format. Hot espresso is poured over cold vanilla ice cream, creating a contrast of temperature, texture, and flavor. It represents coffee used as an ingredient rather than a standalone beverage. Turkish coffee. One of the oldest brewing methods still in use, it is made with very finely ground beans simmered directly in water, often with sugar and never filtered. The grounds settle in the cup, producing a thick, intense drink meant to be sipped slowly. Greek coffee is nearly identical in preparation to Turkish coffee, but it reflects regional tradition and naming. It is brewed unfiltered, served in small cups, and consumed as much for its ritual as for its flavor. Vietnamese iced coffee. This style developed during French colonial rule, adapting to limited access to fresh milk. Strong brewed coffee is combined with sweetened condensed milk and served over ice, creating a bold yet balanced drink suited to hot climates. Caffè corretto. Caffè corretto is an Italian espresso corrected with a small amount of alcohol, most commonly grappa, sambuca, or brandy. Unlike coffee cocktails designed for balance or sweetness, corretto is traditionally consumed for its perceived warming or digestive effect. The alcohol sharpens the espresso rather than softening it, reinforcing coffee's role as a functional, purposeful drink. Irish coffee. Irish coffee combines hot coffee with sugar, Irish whiskey, and lightly whipped cream floated on top. Created in the mid-20th century, it reframed coffee as a warming cocktail rather than a morning beverage. Cold brew is made by steeping coarse coffee grounds in cold water for 12 to 24 hours. This slow extraction reduces acidity and produces a smoother, naturally sweeter coffee that is typically served chilled. Iced coffee is brewed hot and then cooled before being served over ice. Unlike cold brew, which extracts slowly at low temperatures, iced coffee preserves the brighter acidity and aroma of hot extraction. It reflects a modern preference for temperature control rather than brewing method, allowing familiar coffee flavors to be enjoyed cold without changing the recipe itself. French press coffee uses full immersion brewing. Coffee grounds steep directly in hot water, then they are separated by a metal filter. This method preserves oils and fine particles, resulting in a heavier body and a richer mouthfeel than paper-filtered brewing. Frappe. Frappe is a cold, foam-based coffee that originated in Greece in the mid-20th century. It is made by vigorously shaking instant coffee, water, and sugar until a thick foam forms. Then, it is served over ice. Unlike iced coffee or cold brew, frappe relies on aeration, rather than extraction for its texture. From pressure-driven shots to slow cold brews, coffee isn't one drink, but a range of methods shaped by culture and technique. Please let us know in the comments what we should cover next. Thanks for watching.